So what's a reliable place for people to get news nowadays?
I used to watch a little Fox News, but they think we all watch Fox News blindly and just believe whatever Fox News says. I mean, there's Newsmax. There's OANN, One American News Network.
How about online?
Online, I watch Steven Crowder. He had the most views on election night than any other person. Plus, he had more views than even the network channels had. So that was really impressive that he had more views. I watch a liberal journalist on YouTube that has over 1 million subscribers. And to keep that in perspective, MSNBC has 3 million. His name's Tim Pool. It's at TimCast. And
at TimCast?
At TimCast. And he's a liberal, but he hates the mainstream media and he voted for Trump. So that's where I get my news. And Twitter.
Is he at risk of getting also deplatformed as a conservative?
He's not a conservative, he's a liberal, but he says they'll come for me next. So he thinks that he'll eventually get the boot.
Even as a liberal?
Even as a liberal, because he knows that he doesn't side with the talking points of like CNN. He has problems with like Anderson Cooper and Cuomo and all those other guys. He thinks they're a bunch of phonies.
One more time, on the Washington event, were you even around the Capitol building when that storming took place?
I was not around it, but I did see a guy that had a hole in his cheek from a rubber bullet. I don't know why they switched from rubber bullets to real bullets. I saw blood stains from the girl that died on the cement. But like I said, it was 0.5% of 0.5% of 0.5% of 0.5%. And some of that was Antifa's. A lot of the people in there were saying, from what I saw on like social media, we were just going woohoo and just taking selfies, picking up garbage off the floor, being very respectful of the place. But you had maybe half a dozen people that were bad actors. But they did this in Madison, Wisconsin. The leftists did, and it was applauded. They did this when Brett Kavanaugh was being heard, and it was applauded. So what's right for them is right for them. And
what happened? You mentioned Brett Kavanaugh. What happened when he was being heard for consideration for the?
But all the leftists stormed the Supreme Court and got in. And they occupied one of the senators' offices, and there was like 100 people in there, and they wouldn't leave. And there was like 1,000 people on one of the commissional hearing floors, and they wouldn't leave. And it was all applauded. Same thing in Madison, Wisconsin. They took over the Capitol for over 30 days, and it was applauded.
Wait a minute. So what happened to the Capitol building?
In Wisconsin?
Oh, no, the Capitol in Washington.
Yeah.
Is that similar to what happened this week?
So what happened in D.C. when Kavanaugh was being nominated is they stormed and they got in because they were let in. So they could have done the same thing for the conservatives, but some of the cops did let them in and some of them didn't let them in. And just the media spinning it and twisting it the way they usually do.
So how do you feel about the way that the media is depicting the election today?
How so?
The result in terms of, do you believe that there was abundant evidence of crime and fraud?
So, somebody said they got Pelosi's laptop, and if there was like some way to get the truth, the undeniable smoking gun truth to where there was like even the left would agree to it, and there was proof that the amount of fraud was less than or more than to change the results. If there was like an online Vegas sort of line, I would bet every penny I have that there was enough fraud committed to where it overturned the election. In just those 6 states alone, there was enough. And I may be right, I may be wrong, but I'm 99.9% sure in my gut and my heart of hearts that there was. I've seen enough evidence online.
So why does social media make it seem like they always say baseless claims, false claims?
But that's just what they do. They've been doing it for years. They're not going to change now. It's 4D warfare. It's very slick of them to do that. The right should do the same thing.
What kind of warfare?
What's that?
What kind of warfare?
It's like fifth dimensional warfare.
Oh, 4D?
Yeah, like 4D chess. So this is what the right should have been doing the whole time. We lost our schools, we lost the courts, we lost the House, we lost the Senate, we lost the presidency.
Yeah, but this isn't like a former elections where one side loses and then so they take the minority role. It seems like reality is being recast.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a divergent reality, like in Back to the Future 2. I feel like this is Biff's world, and I want to get in the time machine and go back. It's really messed up, and I'm college educated. I have a couple houses. I'm very well educated to where I'm not the hillbilly that they think we are.